Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of the HermitPack. In today's episode, we're going to be sorting out our power situation. Right now, we've got a couple of wind turbines and solar generators up there, and then our main power generation is this solar cell from Environmental Tech. But because of the way that this is set up, we run out of power at night, and that's not exactly ideal. So, what I want to do is I want to set up a new power system, and I was originally thinking I would use extreme reactors, which is basically big reactors for 1.10. However, I was testing it out in a creative world, and big reactors is not nearly as OP as it used to be. Because Resonant Ender and Cryotheum, Jellied Cryotheum, don't exist in 1.10 because thermal expansion and the thermal mods, thermal foundation, thermal expansion, etc. haven't been updated. It's actually really hard to get a massive amount of power out of big reactors. And in addition to that, it uses yellorium, or uranium. It could use uranium as well. And I don't really have a lot of that to begin with, so I would spend most of it just in the crafting process, and I wouldn't really be able to get that much power and efficiency out of it. So we're going to go a different route, and we're going to play around today with a mod called Quantum Flux. And this is kind of an interesting thing. So it's a pretty small mod. There's not a whole bunch of different stuff that it adds, but it adds some really cool and useful things. And this guy right here is what we're going to use to generate power. This is the 0-point extractor, and this thing will basically just generate power from nothing. And if you get it down at bedrock level, you're going to be generating about 250 RF per tick per 0-point extractor, and it's just a passive generation. It just generates. And I haven't tested it yet, but I think if I put a Torturino on there, I can boost that by another 4 times to get about 1,000 RF per tick per 0-point extractor, and that will cover our power needs if I get a handful of them. So that's kind of what we're going to plan for. So, and then there's a few other things in this mod that I want to play around with as well. These things right here, these are Quibit clusters, and these guys are essentially like your energy cells, right? They're very similar to these energy cubes from Mechanism, or, for example, the capacitor banks from Ender. What did I just do? Oops. Or the capacitor banks from Ender.io. However, look at this. We've got an ultimate energy cube right here. This guy holds 51 million RF. The highest level Quibit cluster actually holds I believe considerably more than that. So we're going to try that out and try using one of those as our energy buffer and just kind of see how it works. However, to craft these, you got to make 4 of these, and then 4 of those are required to make the next level, and the next level, and the next level, and the next level. So there's some pretty significant crafting stages here. So let's make a couple of these. We'll kind of make some of the first ones together. We're going to need a couple of these Quibit crystals. We're going to need a couple gold casings. And then you can make one of those, just like so. Let's just actually make a stack of those, because I'm going to need them. And then a stack of those. I also need more ender crystals, so we can make some of those as well. Do I have enough of everything now? Yeah, there's 4. Okay. So we can put those in there, and then to upgrade to the next one, we'll need these amplification crystals. For that, we're going to need dark stone, which is basically just black dye or ink sacs or something, cobble and regular stone. And then we should be able... Oh, I actually forgot to make the amplification crystal. There we go. And then we can make... Oh, just wait. Am I doing this wrong? No, there we go. And then we can make the next level. So we're up here to level 3. I'm not going to do all of those on camera because it's obviously a lot of crafting involved. But you can see the level 3 holds 2.5 million, and each one holds 5 times as much as the previous version. So if this one's 2.5 million, that means that this one is 5 times that, and this one, so the level 3 is 5 times that, the level 4 is 5 times that, and the level 5 is 5 times that. So this thing can hold a massive amount of RF, and that is basically what we're going for. So let me get one of these level 5 Quibbit clusters all crafted up, and then I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back, and I got up to the level 4 Quibbit cluster. I almost have enough to get to the level 5. I'm actually out of diamonds. I have run completely out of diamonds. So, yeah, that's a thing. So I'm going to head into the nether and do some flying around and looking for diamonds there, because it's probably going to be the best place to find it. At least it's probably going to be the best place to look, since all the diamonds, well, not all of them, but there's a fair amount of exposed diamond. Like, see, here we've got some diamonds already. And that will help me, but still, like, I did not realize just how expensive that one is. I had hundreds of diamonds, not thousands, because I haven't had my quarry running for a while. But still, I did not realize just how much I was going through there. So I'm going to have to do some mining for a bit here. Let me get that done, and then I'll come back. All right, guys, I am back, and I've been in the nether. I did a whole bunch of mining. I basically spent, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours last night just doing stuff in the nether. And we did all right. I've got a 193 diamonds now. And I was able to finish making this Quibbit cluster level 5. Check this thing out. Look at that. 312.5 million RF this thing holds. That's a little bit of an upgrade from this ultimate energy cube, which holds 51 million. So, yeah, this thing is awesome. Why did I put that there? That's not where that goes. Let's just put that back. So that's pretty fantastic. Now, let's also take a look at some of the other things that we're going to need to kind of get our power all situated. So we're going to need a few of these 0-point extractors right here. And looks like these actually require level 2 Quibbit clusters. So I'm going to have to make some... Ooh, that's actually not really good. Because that means I'm probably going to run out of diamonds again. That's all right. So 3... Let's just make, like... I don't know. How many of these do I want? Need to make some of these. There we go. Some of those. And let's just do this. At quantum, I'm at 5. Let's just make like 3, 4. Let's make like 4 of them. That should be... actually, you know what? Let's do 5, because I've got 5 of these amplification crystals. There we go. I think I just accidentally made one too many. That's whatever. That's fine. All right, so we got 5 of those. Let's toss those in there. And then we're also going to need some of these advanced circuits, and I'm going to need hyper diamonds, which are made by putting graphite dust into an explosion, it says. I'm not really sure how to get graphite dust, though. I mean, I would imagine we need graphite, but I don't think I've actually seen any of that. So, yeah, That I don't really know. Let's maybe... I suppose I could go mining underground, but I don't think... I'm pretty sure Quantum Flux has been in the mod pack since the beginning, so it wouldn't really make sense for there to be ores over there that I don't need. Let's check one other thing. Let's head into our teleportation room, and let's just see if there's like a graphite. Material, chiseled stone, cobblestone, diorite. Nope, doesn't say anything about graphite in any of these dimlets that we have. So I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and figure out how to get graphite dust, and then I'll come back to you. I found it! This is it, right here. Industrial grade graphite ore. This stuff can be fortuned. So those 3 got us 8 graphite dust. I had to go to previously unexplored chunks in order to find it. And the reason that I know it's unexplored chunks is because the most recent update to the pack added immersive engineering. And right here, we've got some immersive engineering ore. So if you see any of the immersive engineering ores, then you know you're in chunks where you could potentially find that industrial grade graphite ore as well. And I believe the wiki said that it generates between Y levels 10 and 30. And that seems to be consistent with the graphite that I've found so far. I've got a total of 22 now, which is still not a ton. Like, it's definitely pretty rare. But, I mean, it definitely does exist in the world. You can find it by mining. I was fortunate to find a really large ravine where I can just kind of see everything at once. Which has made this a little bit easier. But I'm just kind of looking around for more. And that was really the only graphite that I saw. I'll take the silver ore from immersive engineering as well. There we go. Any more graphite anywhere? I think I'm going to look around for a little bit more. I'd like to have at least half a stack before I head back to my base. And then we got to figure out how to actually process it. It says we need an explosion, which concerns me a little bit. But we'll have to see. Also got some of this bauxite here we can grab. Anything else? Not seeing any more graphite anywhere. Although it did say between Y levels 10 and 30. So I suppose I could just do a bit of actual, just like, regular mining instead of just, come on, run around. And see if maybe I can get lucky and find some that way. That might be worth it. I'll also take all this yellowite that I can get in case I do eventually decide to do a big reactor. Oh, there we go. We're obviously going to use quite a lot of it for that. And I'll take redstone because I can always use more. There's just so many ores down here. Look at this. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit more mining, guys, and then I will come back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So, we've got essentially... Is this thing charging? No, okay. So we've got about 60 of that quantum flux stuff. Now I'm forgetting the name. The granite. We've got about 60 granite dust, or graphite dust, I should say. We also have 2 industrial grade graphite ore that I silk touched, because for a little while there I switched to just essentially branch mining. So let's get that, and that will now give us over a stack of the good stuff, which is awesome. Let's kind of clear out our inventory a bit. I was mining for a while, if you can't tell by the massive amount of stuff, especially considering most of this was not spent branch mining. Anyway, so I believe we were working on the 0-point extractor. Yes, because we need those crystals. So let's grab a stack of this. And then explosions, I can't really think of anything better than TNT. So that's what we're going to use. And it looks like I don't have a flint and steel, but I can pretty easily make one. Okay. So the first question is, will this work? My first question is, will this work properly if I explode it in the water? So, let's try that. And it says, the only reason that I know to explode it is because it says right here, created by putting graphite dust into an explosion. I have a feeling I'm going to need to take that off. So let's put that in there just for the moment. And if I put a TNT right here, and then we throw a graphite dust right here, and I light it, that totally worked. All right, fantastic. We have a system. So now, I think what we should probably do is make like a little thing, because you kind of saw there how it like shot off in a bunch of different directions. I kind of want to avoid that if possible. So I think what we'll do is we'll make like a little, just kind of temporarily, I'm just going to make like a little pool right here to make this in. We'll just make like a little 3x3. That should be fine. And, put that right there. There we go. Okay. And then we'll put this in here. Is that graphite dust used for anything else? Doesn't appear to be. So let's just toss the whole stack. Light it up. There we go. And now we have a full stack of hyper diamonds. Fantastic. That's pretty cool. That's kind of an interesting crafting mechanic. I wonder, there's probably other ways to do that. Maybe using like Psi, perhaps, would be kind of cool. Anyway, now I'm getting sidetracked. I also need to make a couple of these guys, which are going to require some ender crystals. We'll just make a stack of those. There we go. How many of these did we plan to make? I forget. How many of those level? We have 5? Okay. So that means I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll need 10 of those. And then that should be everything. Except I'm now out of these. There we go. Try again. There. So we have 5 of these 0-point extractors, which is pretty cool. And then I think we're going to go, let's see, we need an RF entangler, which also requires a level 2. Man, there's so many things. So we're going to need an RF entangler and an RF exciter, I think, if I remember correctly. But let's go, where's the RF entangler? I'm going to need 1 more of those guys. And that will give us 2. Okay. Let's just make a bunch of those. We'll make 2 more of those guys. We'll make more darkstone, which is actually kind of a cool building block, by the way. Just kind of throwing that out there. We'll make 1 of those. And 1 of those. There we go. And now the RF Entangler. Make a couple of those guys. That should be everything, right? There we go. All right. So if I remember, I believe, if we do, oh, and I need my level 5 Quibbit cluster. So I believe, and we'll set these up closer to bedrock in a minute, because that's how these 0-point extractors work. The closer they are to bedrock, the better they work. But I believe the RF Entangler sends I think it sends redstone power or like wireless. Yeah, there. See? This thing is decreasing and this power is getting sent over here to this Quibbit cluster. And it's basically doing this at a rate of approximately, I don't know, what Y level are we at? 70. So, like 100 and something RF per tick. But the big thing is it's wireless, and as far as I know, it doesn't have like a range. It's just like infinite, which is pretty awesome. Oh, and then the other thing I want is one Torturino. Actually, let's grab 2 Torturinos, because I want to try this out as well. Oh, and you know what? I just thought of something else. I think there's a limit to the rate at which these things can do power. Yeah, Exciter upgrade is what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need a bunch of those too. So let's just make like a bunch of these, because I don't know. There's 50. Let's just, okay. Oh, that's right. Nope, that one. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yep. There's 62. And then last but not least, I'm just going to make it an even stack. At quantum storage. Oh, if I can type. There we go. What was I? We were on this. Yeah. And I needed one more of those. And there we go. We got a full stack of those now, too. Fantastic. And this is the Exciter. This is the Entangler. All right. Awesome. So we'll grab this. And let's head down to the basement. Because this is going to be, I want this to be right next to bedrock, like as close as we can get. I also want it to be somewhere where we can easily find it. So what I'm thinking, we actually have a power line that runs like right here and goes all the way down. So I'm thinking we just run it like right underneath this. And that'll make it really easy to find. It'll mean that I don't have to go looking for it forever. But that's basically the plan. So I'm going to break one of the rules of Minecraft. And we're just going to dig straight down until we hit bedrock. Like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to kind of clear out some space here, because I'd like these to be all in kind of a condensed little area. And we don't have any flat bedrock stuff. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like 1 or 2 RF per tick isn't really going to be a big deal in the grand scheme of things. What I'm looking at is the hundreds and thousands. So I guess this will do. We'll just kind of put it like right about here-ish, I think. So let's grab the Entangler. Actually, let's grab the extractors. And what we're going to do is put them like that. And this is going to generate RF, okay? Then we're going to come way up here to this guy and put a qubit cluster on top of this. All right. And we need to configure the top to send and receive power. Is there not a... Oh, here we go. Configure I/O. Push, pull. Yeah, there we go. Push and pull. And we want it to send and receive power. So basically, this guy is going to essentially be on the network. Then we'll put an exciter on here. And we'll do that. So now this thing can transfer 6,500. So it looks like each exciter upgrade increases the amount of transfer potential it has by 100 RF per tick. Although it kind of looks like this isn't filling up. Probably because that power is getting used. But that's okay. Let's just see. If I change this to receive only, does this thing fill up? It does. Okay. So that's all good. And then let's plop a Torturino right here. Change it to a 400% increase. And make that a 9x9. And let's see if this fills up faster. Yeah, it's definitely filling up faster than it was. That's awesome. So, excuse me. So this should be generating approximately 5,000 RF per tick. Not all of it is going directly into the energy cube, I don't think. Maybe it is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. Because look at that. We're talking millions of RF. So we're at 28 point... Yeah. So we're generating like 5,000 RF per tick passively without actually doing like anything. Just by this little setup right here. A couple of 0-point extractors. 5 of them. Each of those should be generating about 1,000 RF per tick with the Torturino. And then an RF entangler, which can send that power up here to our dimensional, or to our qubit cluster. And then we'll change this power to send and receive. And then this thing... yeah, it kind of works. It's sort of filling up, but it's also draining as well. But that's okay. It'll work, and it'll give us a nice additional power source to help us power our base. If I really wanted to go crazy, I could throw my one compressed Torturino down there, which would be absolutely insane, but I could do it. Or I could add more RF entangler setups, or more RF things pretty easily as well. This thing is slowly draining, though. I don't know. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for this episode, guys, because I am most definitely out of time for this one. So, my friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.